Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Imani and today I'm going to be doing my nails again. I'm going to be doing some Valentine's Day nails, some kissy lips. I can't show you my inspo picture right now, but it's a little phone case that has some little different color lipsticks. I have them all right here actually, and it's like 4 or 5 more. I'm just going to be choosing from. You'll see those later. So yeah, I started already, so I'm just gonna keep going. Today I'm just gonna be talking about whatever comes up because I have not thought about it. I've been wanting to do, what is it called? Continuing with my little conspiracy stuff, but I don't know. I don't really want to talk about nothing conspiracy right now, but I wanted to do my nails and I wanted to record a video, so here I go. Making sure everything is in view. Wait, let me just lay this bead first. My dog's itching in the background. Can you stop itching, bud? Since I keep holding it to that side, let me hang it this way because that's obviously better for me. Yeah, I was debating going live. I don't feel like going live because that's a little nerve-wracking for me still. Especially when I'm trying to just talk off the top of my head and then I'm like trying to focus on these nails too. Yeah, he's making a lot of noise. You can go free. So yeah, that looks kind of fine. Just gonna move that over there because it was uneven. But my mom has checked in the hospital tonight, so I have to go get my little sister, so I have to do these kind of fast. I need to put something so I can see what time it is. So let me do that before I lay this next bead. Don't fall and don't break. Okay, so that's what they're looking like so far. These other ones been glued on. I didn't go and file them down or anything because I just do them pop-off method. I want to be able to do my nails again in a few days, so I don't really be tripping. My little sister over here got Bebe's kids because she never, I don't know if she had ever watched it, but she came to my house last weekend. That's what's here on my computer. She was looking at on YouTube. I opened the window. I probably shouldn't have did that because it's a little clinic outside my house and there'll be little kids crying and stuff. But I should be wearing gloves. I'm not, so don't yell at me. I'm gonna wear them for the rest of the time. The rest of the next videos when I do my nails, I promise. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit. Just my family. A lot of the videos that I have hidden now are me talking and venting about my life, and I'm realizing it was like religion, mental health, things I like to talk about now, which I like to talk about then. I just didn't know what to do with it. It just didn't seem like it had a place. So conspiracy, and I was like, I guess those are all kind of like taboo topics that I could just put that under the umbrella as this. It's kind of too wet. But yeah, I can put it under the umbrella of that. So that's what it's gonna be. But yeah, talking about family, which I think is kind of taboo too, because people kind of get so upset, like what's going on with the David Beckham's son and stuff. And that's something I feel like I had a video on my channel about, like, and I think this is what this video is going to be about. Like, you know, not, that's kind of taboo too, talking about your family. Like, people on the internet will be like, you know, don't run to the internet talking about this stuff, you know, that's immature or whatever. But it's like, to me, as someone who has tried talking to whoever will come talking about on the internet, you know, I don't feel like it's me trying to bash people, but me trying to get closure within myself that they can't admit yet, because they probably, I mean, especially when it comes to parents, you know, that they probably can't admit yet, or they haven't even reflected on. So it's like, it's not me trying to make you feel bad about yourself, but it's me trying to acknowledge something that you're doing so that we can change it. But when you refuse to acknowledge it, you know, it causes a sense of this kind of panic, I think, in people, in the whoever, you know, the kids for this, in this case. So it's like, man, I'm supposed to be able to go to these people, talk to them, try to solve the issue, and when I do, they making me feel bad. And when I go talk to somebody, they make me feel bad. And then if I go run to the internet, I feel bad too. So it's like, you know, yeah, go get a therapist. But I think, you know, a lot of people have to get therapists because it's that lack of safe space, you know, for them to say how they really feel. So I feel like in some cases, for some people, obviously it's different case by case basis, but for a lot of kind of everyday people who get, you know, who are talking about things like that, you know, that kind of is what it goes back to. They know where the origin of some of these things are coming from. They can pinpoint it themselves, but they can't really express it in a way that makes them feel heard and understood. It kind of makes them, because something that, you know, my parent always says is like, I can't go back in time. I'm not asking you to go back in time. Whether I said that, you know, I don't think I really remember myself saying that as a teen, but when I would bring up something that happened in the past, that's what their response would be. And it's like, come up with something a little bit better than that, because I'm not asking you to travel back in time. Like I mentioned a little bit, you know, just acknowledge what happened, especially because me, I have like younger sisters. So a lot of the things that I feel like healed from, I will see going on with them, and I will see them calling out, you know, what's going on, and I'll connect it to what happened with me. But and you know, I would bring this to that parent's attention, and you know, the response would be like, that's something that I needed or whatever. You know, it's not what they necessarily need, because I'm using my old example instead of using the example for them and speaking for them like they just told her. But like I'm saying, or them, you know, it goes over that person's head, and it's like, you know, you just start to feel just kind of, I don't know, a sense of kind of panic and urgency, to where you're like, you know, I'm trying to talk to you and you're completely misunderstanding what I'm saying, and now I'm getting frustrated. And then you're, you know, I think the term is like, I want to say it's part of respectability politics, but, you know, focusing on how somebody is saying something and what they're saying. I mean, you know, how loud their voice is or whatever, instead of what they're saying. I always thought that was kind of like a form of respectability politics. Like, I'm not going to listen to you because you're talking too loud, or I'm not going to do this. And it's like, you know, it just goes back and forth, because, you know, in a lot of cases that person does that too, and when they do that, they feel justified. But when you do that, they kind of deflect from your point and try to invalidate what you're saying to, you know, get what they want. I'm going slower than I thought. Let me see, I gotta get my little sister in the hour. But yeah, this one all thick, and I'm doing too much. We have to file. But yeah, you know, it gets really invalidating. So and then, you know, the people on the internet are invalidating you too. So yeah, I mean, the best bet is to go talk to, you know, a trusted person or a therapist. But yeah, I mean, something I'm realizing now is that, you know, I don't think, you know, things should come to the internet and be hectic. But I feel like if people have tried to talk and they just want the truth to be out, because that's something I feel like a lot of this generation just wants, is like the truth out in a way, and they don't want to just, you know, keep repeating the same cycles of playing like silly games in that kind of way. Okay, a few moments of silence while I focus on this. Okay, y'all can see. Yay. Oh yeah, but I didn't finish my last point, and I don't remember what it was, to be honest, so moving on. Okay, that ain't that bad. Okay, let me get those cuticles though. Oh no. Well, on the ones that don't need a lot of filing, like this one, or maybe even this one, maybe not, they look like they all need some filing. I'm gonna just show y'all a quick what am I trying to say? A quick sneak peek of what I'm trying to do on each nail, because like I said, I'm just doing lips. But yeah, anyway, I don't remember my last point, but yeah, I feel like, you know, people are just invalidating people, like, and then it goes into like that person provided a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and it's just like you can see that these are just the same tired, retired. I mean, tired things that need to be retired, really. Like, yeah, you did, and you know, I appreciate you for that. I'm not saying that you did not do that if that's not the case with you. For some people, that is the case. Obviously, with David Beckham, that's not necessarily the case, I would think. But, you know, most of us had a roof over our head and clothes over on our back or whatever, but still had non-ideal situations that we had to deal with that we won't acknowledge, you know. So yeah, I was thinking, like, I had this conversation on a video maybe 2 years ago. So I think something was coming out with Master P and Romeo, and then it was just a few other people who I can't think of now. And I remember even Jackie Chan said his kids weren't entitled to, like, I guess his money. And I do think, you know, you have 18 years to make sure you raise kids that are responsible and all the qualities that you think they should have that makes them a viable human. And if you didn't do that and you were focusing maybe on work and filming your acting career or whatever, you know, you can't really blame that person for not being what you know, expect them to be as an adult. And if you did do that, then I'm not talking to you, obviously. And if your kid still grows up to be lazy and entitled, but, you know, just to smack that on every single case has kind of grown annoying, because it's like, that's not the case with every single one. And you have to, you know, acknowledge that it's some things, not parent shaming, but it's some things that you have to do and be more intentional about. For example, with like a lot of these men that are empathetic or whatever, I mean, and this is what other people are complaining about, not necessarily that I'm complaining about it, but people on the internet complain about that. It's like, okay, do y'all have sons? Because all y'all can do now is have these conversations with them instead of on the internet. They're never too young to start having these really important conversations so that we don't continue this in the future. And that's the same what I'll be talking to my parent. Like, yeah, I'm talking about for me and whatever people I may bring into here. Yeah, I want my peers to hear that for whoever they have brought in here and may bring in here.